Now, ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2, a lot of fans around the world have been very much reunited based on what has happened in the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian with Luke Skywalker coming into fruition again. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that they are now going on the road to success. They really achieved many different goals with The Mandalorian Season 2 and exactly what they have in store for the fans with Season 3. It truly is going to be something surprising for a lot of fans out there. Now, given that we have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni working together as a team with George Lucas and others to really deliver rich material within this new expanded universe, we already have Rangers, the Ahsoka Tano series, as well as Mando Season 3 and 4, just to name a few, before they move on to other projects as well. Now, given that, of course, Season 2's finale gave us a Luke Skywalker in his prime once again, showing us exactly what he was capable of through the power of the Force, using his lightsaber. I mean, we really got a great glimpse into the character. So, actor Mark Hamill, alright, this is a very interesting piece because Mark Hamill was the one responsible for allowing the face of Luke Skywalker to be seen in this big cameo at the very end of Season 2's finale, and how they de-aged him and they brought him from being a 69-year-old Mark Hamill to appearing like a 28-year-old Mark Hamill as Luke. Now, moving on from all of this, given that The Mandalorian Season 2 is now over, Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new projects for the Star Wars universe. It's described that actor Mark Hamill recently took part in an interview where he was able to address the CGI work done on his face, de-age him, and responding to the criticism of Luke in the scene. Mark Hamill states that he was not surprised to see fan criticism of how the CG was done on his face to make him appear practically 40 years younger, and that he went on to say that the older you are, it can be a bit more difficult with the technology to de-age a person, and that he's not all that surprised that fans out there are criticizing the use of the character of Luke through de-aging technology. Hamill continued to say that for his age at 69 to appear as a 28-year-old Luke Skywalker or so was truly impressive by Lucasfilm. Hamill continues to state that, of course, CG is always going to be recognizable with today's technology and compared to a human face, but that it's only going to get better in the next couple of years and improve. Hamill says he was truly honored by Favreau and crew to allow him to return, and that it was very difficult not talking about it at all. Now, let's stop right here for a second. Now, everything related to Mark Hamill. Alright, we've seen what happened with the sequel trilogy of how he had a lot of different scenes in Episode 9 that ended up getting deleted. That was pretty much going to be his salvation, right? He was going to be able to pretty much come back as Luke, fix elements of what happened in The Last Jedi by Rian Johnson, and well, sadly Mark Hamill did not get that chance in the very end of the sequel trilogy. So here we are, we're now in a position where Disney and Lucasfilm are primarily focused on really focusing on the key characters. It's like the reason as to why we have an Ahsoka series, a Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming our way, as well as other character-oriented shows that are currently in the works as well. The thing about Luke, though, I feel that the criticism, even though it is very much a minority, I feel that the criticism of Luke, you can see the CG work. There's no doubt about that if you look very close. There are certain frames where it is more obvious than other frames. I gotta say, they did a stunning job with Luke Skywalker. The story, the overall scene, and the action, and the dialogue between Mando and Luke, and Grogu and whatnot, is what really makes you look away from the CG and not necessarily recognizing it too much. I'm sure that you guys have seen the deepfakes on the internet of how it actually looks better than what Lucasfilm did, and I do agree with that. It's kind of unfortunate that maybe they couldn't have spent more time on the de-aging technology or just used deepfakes. They could have just done something around those lines, but they did what they did, and I think that they did a very good job of what it was, and I think that obviously a lot of fans are very happy just to see Luke. Just to see Luke was enough, obviously, in their opinions. Now, on top of all of this as well, we also know that Mark Hamill, was very much, expressing of how difficult it was to keep everything a secret and pretty much keeping it bottled up for a very long time after Episode 9 debuted in theaters, and how a lot of fans had problems with that movie. So obviously, everything related to the sequel trilogy and how Luke was so, I guess you could say, misused in that actual trilogy of movies, now we can see Favreau taking care of the character in his prime, in his youth. Some people would like to debate that, well, what does it matter? Because we're going to end up seeing Luke in the sequel trilogy anyway, on that island being the way that he is. For me, at least, I kind of just detach from that, and I just focus on what's being done in the moment to make me forget about how Luke was treated in the sequel trilogy. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.